Hey guys, happy Monday. My name is Tina. I am a certified sobriety and transformation coach, and I'm here every Monday to give you some tips and tricks around sobriety. Not just sobriety, but also in general, any behavior, any habit that is destructive and that is holding you back. I'm here to help you understand that all of our beliefs are anchored in our subconscious programming and try to help you understand how to become aware of them and how to then eventually change them. So last week I talked a little bit about the 4 stages of the mind. I spoke about why we are as children so open between the ages of 3 and 7. Our subconscious mind is open. We don't have the logical conscious mind yet, so we actually really take in all the information that we receive from parents, from friends, friends at 3 years old, but more so parents and people we look up to, teachers and relatives, cultural influence. We don't have filters yet, so all the messages that we receive go into our subconscious mind, and often we take those on subconsciously, not even knowing that we take on these beliefs, and then later on in life they rule us and they don't work for us any longer. And it takes something like, for me, alcohol, where I used to go to it for everything, and then at some point it became destructive and hurtful in my life, that I stepped away from it and said, okay, wait a minute, what is my belief system around it, and how can I find a new belief and replace the old belief with it that serves me better and the things that I like to achieve in life. So today I like to talk about the beliefs and how we become aware of them. So most of the times, like I said, it's when something doesn't work any longer. But there is a specific question that you can ask yourself, and it starts with, really, how is life showing up for you? When you think about your life, what is it for you? Is it a struggle? Is it hard? Or is it exciting and you see it as an adventure? Anything that you think has an energetic output, there's energy behind it. So if you think about your life in a negative way, then that's more of the things that you will attract to keep you in that mode. If you think of it as an adventure or it's something exciting, then you have more energy available to try out new things. If they happen, great. If they don't happen, it's not such a big deal. You're more elevated, so to speak. How do you think about money? What role does money play in your life, and why do you believe the things that you do because of money? How do you think about your friends or other people? Are they always treating you badly, or are they treating you nice? How are your relationships? Do you see yourself falling into the same patterns, either with your friends or with a significant other? There's a lot of things that we have belief systems around that we are not aware of, and we are really operated by our belief system. It's like a computer program that is anchored in our subconscious mind. I say that word a lot because that's what it is. And unless we bring it up into awareness, there's no way that we can change it. So for the sake of, because I am coaching a lot, here in the alcohol-free groups, let's take alcohol for example. But again, you can apply that to anything that you like to change in your life that's holding you back. For me specifically, I had often the belief that alcohol would help me in life, that it would make things easier, that it would help me deal with the children, it would help me relax at the end of the day, it would help me sleep, it would help me fit in with my friends, it would help me become more interesting, it would ease my anxiety around people, and. So when alcohol stopped working for me, I had to look at every single belief that I have and really saw it for what it is. It was an old belief system that had worked for me in the beginning, but now it did no longer work for me. So the first step is really the awareness, right? And then the second step is being okay that you had that belief. Don't beat yourself up over it because you didn't know any better, and at some point it was working for you, or else you would not have adopted it and it would not have become a subconscious programming. So now that you know it is no longer working for you, it's a matter of finding new evidence and replacing that old belief with a new one that is serving you better. So in my case, let's take alcohol and relaxation, for example. Once I started questioning this belief, I looked at the evidence for it. So I was observing myself when I had a drink. Was I really relaxed? I was relaxed probably for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, but then I got that uneasy feeling that something was missing. So I went to get a second drink, and then I felt the relaxation again, but never as much as I felt with the first one, right? So in the end, I was just chasing that original feeling, but I never got quite up there. And I came later to understand, finding more evidence, to support my new belief that alcohol is not relaxing me. I was looking for education. I was reading a lot. I was watching videos, listening to podcasts, reading books, finding education around alcohol and understanding what it does to my system and why I felt the way I did after the initial relaxation left my body. And I understood there was a whole chemical reaction going on to the substance entering my system. So it made complete sense to me that I felt the way I did, and that I would go back for the second drink unconsciously because I wanted to just feel calm and at peace. That was my original belief that alcohol did for me. So this the third step really. So the first step, awareness, become aware of your belief. And then the second is find the evidence of when was that belief created, because it's always a reference to the past. The beliefs that we have always are anchored in the past, because something happened in the past that made you adopt that belief to be true, or you found it true for you at that point. So for some people, it might be you're 14 years old, again, the example of alcohol, and you're nervous, you're teenage, awkward, you're going to a party and somebody hands you a beer, you drink it, and instantly you feel relaxed. So all you recognize is, oh wow, I had this anxious feeling, now I have this thing, and it gave me instant relaxation. Boom, you created a memory, your brain saved it into your subconscious mind. You do this over and over again, and it's become a habit, it's become a pattern, and it probably worked for you for quite some time until, again, because of the chemical stuff happened in your brain. And I can explain this another time because it's going to be too long if I go into that, but just know that anytime alcohol enters your system, there's a chemical reaction that happens, and all our brain is going to do is trying to create balance, but alcohol throws off that balance, right? First you get that artificial dopamine spike, which gives you this nice calm feeling, but then the alcohol leaves the body and it leaves the depressant. The brain detects the depressant because alcohol is both a stimulant and a depressant. So it detects the depressant, it shoots out more chemicals, adrenaline, cortisol, some of them, and to bring balance again. But the adrenaline and the cortisol stay way longer in your system than the depressant is. So once that leaves, you're just left with this uneasy, queasy feeling, and you're just maybe anxious and restless. So what do? You grab the next drink to get you back to the balance in that sense. Whew, that's a lot to speak about. But anyway, so that has worked for you, but over time your brain got used to that, and you needed more and more and more to get the same effect. And eventually, again, speaking about alcohol, but you can apply this to sugar, to gambling, to smoking pot too much, whatever it is. Eventually you need more and more, so you build up a tolerance, which isn't a good thing. And it starts hurting you. The more toxin you have in your body, the more it takes a toll on your organs, on your heart, on your kidneys, on your liver, on your skin, on your hair. I mean, I could go on and on and on your sleep. So it started hurting you, and now you're trying to stop, but you have created this habit for yourself. So the next step is, after the awareness, after recognizing where this belief system was made, like where did it come from? Now you recognized it, you accept it, it's okay, don't resist it, it is what it is, and now you can change it. So what you do is find evidence for a new belief that serves you better. So in my case, again, I looked at the evidence from a scientific standpoint. I read all the books, and I understood what alcohol does to my body, and that it really doesn't relax me. It does exactly the opposite internally, right? And then I stepped away from it completely. I stepped away from the substance completely to understand, how can I function, how can I be without, and how can I find the joy and the fun and the peace in life again without having to go to that substance to give me this short relief, but then nothing after. And once you do that, and it is hard in the beginning, and it takes repetition and work and training, like you're training for a marathon almost, right? You have to keep doing it. So it's really important to stay away from it, so you give your body and brain a chance to rebalance, and then for you to naturally find new mechanisms to either cope or to enjoy things or to relieve stress or to go to sleep without relying on a substance. And once you are able to do that, you create a new habit for yourself by doing it over and over and over again. And eventually, the subconscious mind can only hold on to one belief that it finds to be true at one time. So it cannot hold on to belief that alcohol is good for you, but then at the same time that alcohol is not good for you. So once you completely replaced the old programming with the new program and the new belief that alcohol does nothing for you, then your desire to have a drink, your triggers, the cognizant, always a hard word for me, dissonance falls away, where you in your conscious mind say, oh my gosh, I don't want to drink, but then your subconscious is like, yeah, you do, you need it, this is what you have done all your life, so of course you want to drink. So you have this constant battle in your head. Once your subconscious mind is aligned with your conscious mind and with the essence of who you truly are, it falls away and you don't have that chatter anymore. And for some people, it happens super fast. Some people go and have to work at it over and over and over again. It took me a good 5 years actually of trying and stopping and moderating and figuring out what works, what doesn't work, until I now am at a place where alcohol doesn't bug me anymore. It doesn't matter if it's here, if it's not here, it's irrelevant and small in my life. And in fact, I went to a wine tasting yesterday with friends, and it wasn't an issue whatsoever. I had my sparkling water, they had their wine. We had the most amazing time, and I felt great that night. I felt great the next morning. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything, because simply I changed my belief system around alcohol and what it does for me. And for me personally, it does absolutely nothing anymore. So, but for me to be able to do that now, I had to really work at it and, read everything I could read and listen to podcasts. And I have to keep it fresh in my mind, which is, it's like any muscle that you train. Let's say you train for a marathon, or you are big into CrossFit or whatever it is, and you train and you're in good shape, you feel strong. But then for whatever reason, you kind of drift off and you stop your routine. And then within weeks, you lose your strength and you feel sluggish. And then it's, harder to get back up again. And it's the same thing with whatever lifestyle it is that you like to achieve or that you like to change. You keep working at it. And sometimes it's working every day. You have a routine that you stick to, and you do that every single day, until it becomes a lifestyle and becomes automatic. And then it's second nature, just like you're brushing your teeth, you're tying your shoes, you're making your coffee a certain way, you do it maybe every morning at the same time. You can create exactly the same for you when it comes to habits. So for me right now, there is no longer a Friday night urge for me to stop at a bar and have a drink, or Saturday after my workout. I don't stop anymore to get my mimosas, which I always used to do. It was a habit for me to do this after every single workout. And it just took me up a good year of not doing it and of doing something other instead. And now it's not relevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. So I hope this makes sense. I'm already at 13 minutes again. I'm really trying to keep those videos shorter, but it's so hard because there's so much to talk about. So let me know if you have any questions. You can reach out at info@tinavonsachs.com. You can tag me in a post. Just tag my name and I'll respond to you. You can private message me on Facebook. You can check out my website, which is www.tinavonsachs.com. And again, I'm very passionate about helping people, women especially, change their relationship with alcohol. But it's not limited to that. I'm very passionate about fitness. I'm passionate about personal development and about learning and growing. And it is all tied into each other in a way. Alcohol is for me at least, it was this keystone habit I needed to change for all the other things to happen. And I know that for all of us, either in these groups that I'm coaching in, or if you're just out there watching this video, if there's something that you're struggling with, look at your belief system around that and ask the questions. Why do you have this belief about yourself? Where did it come from? Find the reference point, and then find new evidence for a new belief that serves you better. You can create a new identity for yourself at any given moment. You are not a slave of your subconscious mind. You can change it. And that's what I'm leaving you with. Thank you so much, guys. Happy Monday, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.